This is Dr. David Allen, and I hope you found it interesting talking with Dr. Marie Allen Carroll in how that our young people, particularly young girls, are caught in this very powerful codependency cycle. They want to look right, they want to have the right weight, they want to have the right clothes, they want to be loved by all their friends, they want to be popular, they want to be the in-group, but somehow, no matter what they have, there's something they don't have. And they maximize that something they don't have, and they feel their life is horrible. And as a result of that, they want to please people. They want to adapt to what people want them to do. They find it hard to say no, and sometimes they find it hard to say yes. And Marie has been talking about how powerful this is in young girls particularly, and some of the things we as parents have to do. And I guess the first step is we need to be aware.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Be aware of what's going on with your children. Being aware of what's going on with yourself is huge.
What do you mean?
Because we are so busy as parents, and life has become complicated. Relationships have changed, and jobs and internet, and they've found that humans, adults, are more stressed than ever before. Technology, terrorism, there's so much going on. And so adults are already having a lot to handle, and so it's much easier to miss something that's happening with your kids because you're trying to survive on yourselves. So number one thing to do with your children is to make sure you're taking care of yourself, modeling to them what that looks like, getting exercise, eating well, what have you, making sure that you're okay, and that's going to translate to making sure your child's okay. Also, being a good model of what you want, being a good model of communication, helping them become aware that their feelings are justified, that they're able to say no, because again, you are trying to help them not turn into this person who's codependent, who we talked about at the beginning of the show. You're trying to give them a voice so that if they do come across someone or something that is asking them to give up their adequacy, they are able to recognize that. Don't forget, you only choose to give up your adequacy. No one can make you do it. So you choose to do it. So if you've been given the tools to stand up for yourself and be assertive and know when your gut instinct is saying, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel authentic, this doesn't feel like who I am, being able to listen to that. A lot of times we ignore those little whisperings in ourselves, but we are biologically created to listen to those instincts to stay out of dangerous situations. So teaching our kids to listen to that gut instinct. So modeling, modeling for them what is appropriate behavior, building up their self-esteem, helping them listen to their intuition, are all things that are going to become really important so they don't develop this codependent behavior. And it might also mean you taking your own responsibility, taking responsibilities to make sure that you're not having them caregive for you, that you're not making them feel that their whole worth is based on how they achieve. Validate them regardless, that they have to people please in order to get acknowledgement. So those are all things that you consciously or unconsciously might be doing, sending the message to your child that you're only good when you achieve these certain things. Unconditional love, no matter who you are. Yes, try your best, but regardless, you are your own person, you with your own integrity, your own adequacy, authority, and no one can take that from you.
I was also struck by cyberbullying. Can you say a word of that for Bahamian parents? Because it's kind of new here, but it's a real thing, particularly with girls. What should parents do? How could they discover cyberbullying?
Okay, well, like I said before, I think pay attention to your child. Pay attention to if they seem like they're acting strangely, if they seem depressed, if they don't want to go to school anymore, if they feel anxious, if some of the friends they had aren't coming around anymore. Just inquire a little bit, see what's going on. Realize that it is a real thing. I think like there's an excellent movie called Cyberbullying on it's like ABC Family or something. Your child has to be age appropriate, but that's a great way of talking with your child about cyberbullying, seeing it acted out, and then you can say, what would you do if this ever happened to you? So sometimes parents, we just need to get a little bit creative about how we How do we talk to our kids? Because it's not always easy, and we don't have all the answers. We're human too, but using the tools out there just to keep that communication open, and it's okay to say to your child, "I don't always have the answers. I don't know what I'm doing all the time, but I'm willing to learn out. I'm willing to support you while you try to figure it out." Can be really empowering.
And of course, I guess some young girls get very discouraged.
Of course.
What would you like to say to a young girl listening tonight?
I would say you're not alone. A lot of girls and guys feel very similar ways. If you can take the step into expressing how you feel, finding a safe place to talk about it, I really encourage you to. You don't have to go through things by yourself. I promise it can get better if you hang in there. You just have to give yourself a chance. You have to give a trusted person a chance, but it does get better. You're worth it. You're worth finding out how you can be supported. If you are being hurt or bullied or feel like you're in a situation that just feels out of your control, I really encourage you to talk to someone because help is out there, and it's amazing the amount of kids that are living such fulfilling lives because they took the risk and were courageous and said, "I need help." So I encourage you to do that.
And then, of course, there's the child who the parent realizes needs help, and the child refuses to come in for help. What does the parent do then?
Well, I mean, if it's your child, I don't think they can refuse to come in for help. It's like refusing to go to the doctor. I find usually I would just encourage them or bring them in, and what I've found is maybe it's hard to get them in the front door, but once they develop a relationship with a therapist or a counselor and they realize that that person is there just to help them, to talk to them, to be confidential, it's safe, then usually they really grow with it and they go with it. It's just the initial idea, and I think they might feel that you're saying that they're crazy or they're weak, and so just saying no. It's about chatting about what's going on in life with a safe person. Try to make it, minimize it. Don't make it too clinical. But a lot of times, at least in my experience, every time the parent is very hesitant that the child will want to come, the child just starts talking and talking and talking and talking and sharing.
In fact, what I found with your work with the girls group, they don't want to leave.
Right. No, they stay there.
In New York, they just want to sit down and talk.
Stay and stay and say, I'm like, okay, it's time to go. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good feeling to be around other people that you can laugh with and grow with.
And these needs are developing here in our country, and our institute, the Renaissance Institute International, we're starting a special adolescent program, particularly for young girls and girls groups, which Marie will be heading. She does this internationally, and I think you'll find it very helpful. And remember, parents, if your child doesn't come, why don't you come? Because if you come, you can then model to the child what needs to be done. But we're in a very interesting time in our country, and guess what? Information is power. If you don't know about cyberbullying, your kid could be cyberbullied and destroy his life or her life. So please, come and learn. Come and talk to us. Marie is now available to be full-time at the center, and so we're building this program. We've got a whole new space to do it, a kind of wellness center, and it's really important to know your child and to let your child know you. You can break the codependency cycle. You do not have to please everybody. You can say no. You're a special person made in the image of God with your own authority card, your meaning, dignity, identity, and value. God bless, and good night.